All right, Pot of Gold, welcome back. Episode 316. Shout out Stone Cold Steve Austin. What are you looking at me for, Mike? Can you not hear me?
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Of all the times for things to go wrong.
What
right
happened?
when we start the
Oh, there
pod.
you
Okay,
are.
we're back. We're back.
I didn't know what happened. I heard
You
you.
were giving me looks, and then I couldn't hear you.
I
So
thought you
press
said
play.
something and nothing came out.
I didn't hear Brett for a second, but it came
Oh,
through.
Sounds like
All
we're
right.
good.
Here
All right,
we
let's
are.
start over. 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Pot of Gold. Hey, all right. But wait, no, hold on. I messed that one up. You give me another countdown.
3, 2, 1.
3.
Grant, if I'm going to clap, don't talk. Let's just establish that now for the third time.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
All right, everybody. Pot of Gold, welcome back. I'm Brett. I'm here with Mike Grant, the intern behind the glass at a remote location. Episode 316. Shout out Stone Cold Steve Austin.
17.
Shout out
17. It was 317 to be exact. I don't want to.
today's
I know you had a lot going on there with the Steve Austin stuff, but 317.
All right, I was gonna give Tim Tebow a shout out for the back in the day. All right, well
that was John, not Tim.
All right.
Anyway,
I was wrong.
We're not
John,
cutting that, right?
No, of course not.
why
Absolutely.
would we cut that? It's 2 minutes of pure pot of gold.
That's if you get the show, you get the show. All right, guys, hit us up on Twitter at potofgold@gmail.com, at goldmike, at Grant the intern, at Blue Wire. Shout out them. Shout out everybody.
Oh, we need to start putting the ads in. I don't know. I sent you an email. We've had I forwarded it to you. Apparently, we've been slipping up. We need to put the ads back in. I don't know what we didn't do, but they're like, this is the last shot. This is y'all's last fucking shot. No, they didn't say that, but like, I could catch a tone. I caught a tone.
Yeah, you know.
Guys, look, we get that you're doing your own thing, and
I said I'll pass it on to Grant. I'll pass it on to Grant. He's the one that's been doing that. I don't know what he stopped doing or why he stopped doing, but we will fix it moving forward, probably in March.
If you think Richard Jefferson's pulling in pot of gold numbers, if you think Chris Long's little silly podcast is pulling in pot of gold numbers, you're wrong.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck in life thinking that type of shit. That's just hey, we thank you for the listen though. Thank you for the download. I know it's the end of February, first week of March, and Brett, here we are. Grant, you survived. We'll talk about that later, but Mardi Gras is over, and we're all healthy and fine, and that's just something you really need to you can't take that for granted. When you're from the dirty South, but
it's a weird time in sports though, because you kind of got some golf, but you don't really have some golf yet. I don't really give too much cares about what's going on in the baseball world. College basketball is when the most of the fans, me included, is going to start paying more attention. Conference championships are just right around the corner.
I'm about to get into basketball. I'm getting into LSU basketball this week.
Well,
we'll discuss a little bit.
I got some bad news for you, Michael.
Yeah. No, Mulkey wears a fine jacket, man. I'm all in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
You said basketball. Yeah.
We're strictly a ladies Tigers podcast.
That's right.
But yeah, and spring football is right around the corner. So there's it's just kind of a weird time right now, but there's also knowing that very soon we're going to get to start seeing some more videos and get to hype ourselves up as a national championship contender again.
In the meantime, we can talk about Malik Neighbors carrying a Glock during Bacchus.
Is that where we're starting? We'll start with Polian.
We are starting with Polian. That's on me. I did not follow the script. I didn't follow the script. Usually we're not scripters.
It's all right. I think we're good.
Well, yeah,
announce it, Polian.
Grant maybe took some shots, so Mike was trying to get to that as soon as humanly possible. But
no, it was a neighbors thing. I forgot about the neighbors segue with Grant. I apologize, but we're
going to tease that.
The point of it is that Mardi Gras is over, and that's the type of year we're in. And you expounded on that. It's a dead period, not a lot going on, but yet we have some exciting topics. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, Polian out as special teams coordinator. He's, assistant to the on-field coaches now in some special NIL position, whatever. Don't know much about the guy they brought in. Bob Diaco apparently back coming to the staff, which is a name a throwback name to the old UConn days where you just knew that you could bet against this dude and free money.
Interesting.
But I don't know.
I haven't read up on the hire.
I wasn't really thinking that Brian Kelly was going to do anything. Like many times in the DMs, people would ask me about special teams. I'm like, dude, just nothing's happening. And then the last couple of weeks, you kind of start hearing some rumblings and news breaks. And it's like, good on Brian Kelly making some moves, kicking his boy to the curb.
Well, it had to happen. It was
just too bad.
It had to happen. And you knew, here's where I kind of disagreed, and I didn't think you were in that boat all the way that nothing will happen. I think I remember you discussing this as well, where you were kind of on the same line of thinking that Polian's not going to be the special teams coach, but he will by no means be fired.
Right.
Like that was the case, was like Polian is at some capacity going to be involved, and it's not just going to be like as a cheerleader. Like he's going to have some type of real job because Brian Kelly does still trust him. He showed his cards all year where it's like there was no adjustments. He's like, Brian's got it. And then like 15 games later, it's just like, all right, well, maybe we'll reevaluate this in March.
How many times you going to embarrass me?
Yeah, like all the way to the last fucking second half of Georgia. It's like, what are we doing? Nothing's changed. So this is Josh Jancic, named LSU special teams coordinator and outside linebackers coach. Unique little twist there. Another addition there. Do we need another linebackers coach? Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's like it is a ballsy move to do. When LSU special teams had been like an historic bad, to pull the old, like it feels like a Les Miles move to be like, yeah, we have this linebackers coach. And also he's going to, in his spare time, like every now and then, he's going to pop over and be the special teams coordinator. It'll be fine.
This is such a
times it's not fine.
This is different than what we're used to, though. This is like the first time Brian Kelly has had to go out and be like, I got to find a dude. And we're so used to it being with Les and Ed, where we just jump on a message board and they're just like, they better fucking get so-and-so, and like for the first time, it's like, who the fuck is this? It's just like, this dude would never be the pull at like Bama or Georgia. It's just like, this is a Brian Kelly pull. Obviously he knows this guy. Like that's the depth that Brian Kelly has of his experience in networking and knowing who to trust. It's like, we would never have guessed this type of guy. And maybe I'm wrong. I wasn't involved in the message board chatter for the special teams search. But it just seems so different in this day and age with Brian Kelly, where like it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. He's got a dude. He's old Uncle John, and he's going to fix it.
Old Uncle John. He does look like, that's a good one. Good old Uncle John there.
Thanks. That's Uncle John.
It's Uncle John.
Yeah, I'm excited. The thought of going into next year with like nothing's changed. It's like, guys, we got our guys in, our systems in place. Like that would have been worrisome going into game one. And it's like, even if special teams is like fixed and Polian's great at it, like you have that one bad snap on a punt or that one slippery ball on a hold, and it just all comes crumbling down. So it's nice that like, this guy, his special team's going to be completely fixed week one. I have no idea, but it's like, at least we're trying.
Unfortunately, the more we talk about it, and like it's the first time I'm really analyzing this, like, let's get real. This dude's going to suck.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm not feeling like super warm and fuzzy. It just can't get fucking worse.
That's what I'm saying. Can it be worse?
No,
like this guy might win.
It can't be worse. No, it can't be worse. It can't be worse. I agree.
I would imagine.
Is there a most improved coordinator? Like, is that something they hand out at the end of the season? It's like Brian or Bill Belichick. Jesus, I'm trying to think. Bill O'Brien is the name I was trying to come up with. It's like, we're going to give him the most improved.
Dude, that might be a great option for an award show. We should submit that. I think that's
who was so shitty last year that kind of turned it around.
Yeah, like Tom Herman's on the watch list this year.
The watch list for that would be so funny because it would just be a list of shitty coaches.
The shitty coaches that people are like gambling on, like hitting it, like they're gonna get good again.
Here's the top 10 worst coaches that we think might.
That's bullshit. They went straight to Bama. That's bullshit. They can't win the award. They went to Bama.
Oh fuck. That would be incredible. If just
coaches who we think are going to be an analyst at Georgia or Bama next year. That's pretty much what that list would be.
Pretty much. Yeah. But every now and then,
did Tennessee fire you? Did Tennessee fire you? Yes or no?
Yeah. Right. And that's credentials for that award. You know,
have you had an NCAA recruiting violation? Yes or no?
For the listeners at home that don't watch the YouTube channel, I apologize because you're missing out on the world's largest smart water bottle I have ever seen or held.
It's literally a full screen bottle that Mike just keeps whipping out over here.
Got to stay hydrated out here, out west.
Out west. Yeah, I thought the Rockies would be a little more rocky.
I'm surprised they sold you a bottle of water.
They sold me 2 for $16, and I'm just
is there a paper straw? Is it like the longest paper straw in history?
No, but the lady that dropped it off like threw it down the hallway while her N95 was like hanging off the side of her ear.
Rolled it down.
I'm just like, what year is this? Anyway.
So when did you say spring was starting?
March 9th.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's
it always starts that weekend. It always starts the middle of March.
Spring football?
Spring football opens
next week.
Football opens spring practice on March 9th. Here's the full
next week. We start.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome because I was pretty sure that went over your head, Mike, and he definitely said that twice now
on the pod, or just while we were digging around.
I said it right before when we were dicking each other around, and then I'm saying it again.
I was getting food from room service. I didn't hear.
But yeah,
I hear it now, but like I still don't. I don't agree. I want to see it. Pull it up. I don't agree.
Well,
pull it up. I don't believe
I'm trying.
I feel like it's in April. I feel like
thinks I give a shit about spring athletic schedule.
March 9th, 10th, 21st, 23rd, 25th, 30th.
No, that's not true. You're reading something old or Lawn put it out. Like, this isn't real.
I would. It's on. Do you want me to pull up the Tiger Droppings version? Because that's what I have in front of me.
Yeah. I mean, we're laughing, but like, that's totally something like one of these other like podcasters or like reporters would do. They'd be like, breaking news. This is the schedule. It's like, this better fucking hit. This better fucking hit.
I had it first. Everyone credit me. March 9th, you
you idiot. It's always in April. What the fuck?
No, you're right. I think it is always in April. You're absolutely right.
The game is always in April.
The game's always like April 20th. It's
at the end of April. So, and spring's not that long. So I think like mid to late March.
So it says that
not like the 9th.
Wait, there's no game.
April 22nd, I assume, would be the game.
Oh, yeah.
What's with your ads down there, dude? You shopping GQ or
let's take that quiz.
Looking up posters for American Psycho?
Yeah,
I'm down to take that quiz, the Tiger Droppings quiz.
I'm just happy that's all that's showing.
That's not how you spell POG, dude. It's POG.
No, I said poggers, like pot of
gold. Anyway.
March 9th, dude. That's
coming up hot. That's here.
I mean, dude, it's picture season. Like,
it's picture season. It's totally like Nuss could play.
Dude, seriously, like he's not doing the eye black. Like, he's serious this year, guys.
No,
like,
Jaden Daniels, I think Jaden Daniels is gonna be fucking sick. Like, I'm starting to convince myself that like he's gonna improve and be like, damn, that's all that was missing was his fucking like quick passes, like in his quick decisions. It's like, whoa, he did it. Now he's fucking sick.
I'm trying to figure out which is going to be more fun. Is to be the diehard, like no matter what, like Daniels can look terrible, and I'm going to say he's the Heisman winner, or be like the guy who like every time just calls for Nuss, like no matter what. Like, which is going to be more fun next season, to be the guy on
for
Twitter
you to be?
have the yeah. I'm just gonna take it to a whole nother level, and I want people replying just disgusted with my takes on Twitter.
So what was the first option? Jaden Daniels isn't really that good.
No, like Jaden Daniels is the
amazing.
god. Like Jaden Daniels has an Arkansas game, and I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Right, the O-line was sick. Like Will Campbell was hurt or whatever.
Will Campbell's fat and can't block. Like even though Will Campbell has like an incredible game, I just start blaming everyone. Like, oh yeah, well if Malik Neighbors could fucking catch,
I think it will be funner to be that option.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think he's going to do good.
He's going to play.
Yeah, and I think he's going to do well. He's going to improve a little bit, and then you're going to be like validated every time because he's going to like pull through somehow, and you're going to be like, see, that's it, like big moments. Bama.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be fun because there's going to be those times where it's going to be easy to be like, you guys don't see the all 22. Guys are open. He's just not willing to do it. It's just
we just need to get rid of Booty, and here we are.
We're in, I don't know, it almost feels like more like our childhood where, and you know, for the last forever, the backup quarterback is everyone's favorite quarterback, but it feels like for the first time in a while, it's like a legitimate, like, hey man, your backup might be a dude.
It is, and it's the first time in a while I felt comfortable thinking that
we're not talking about Danny Etling, we're not talking about Max Johnson, we're not talking about any of these guys.
There's a succession plan that you're just kind of like, oh, this will work. Like this will be a good, like Jaden Daniels does well. We have a great season, passes the torch to Nuss, who has been, you know, obviously learning and growing, but like also the room shifted with Walker Howard leaving. So now Nuss is like, yeah, I'm definitely the next guy. Like, there's no doubt about that. I am the next guy. I could be the guy with the one twisted ankle, and he's good. And so that's exciting for the first time, where you have two solid quarterbacks that you feel comfortable with.
It'll be interesting to see how much Nuss plays.
I don't think much, unless we're
I kind of think so
out.
too. That's why I think being the Nuss guy could be fun. But yeah,
because he's going to take over next spring, and it's going to be like, holy shit, why haven't we been seeing this?
Yeah, it's just, I just know how fun my, I guess, uncle-in-law has whenever Nuss throws a touchdown and he gets to be like, see, this is a pro quarterback and Daniels isn't. Like, I see how fun that is. And I just want it. Like I kind of like long for that.
There's big fights over that. Like people get violent over that discussion.
I know. And which side's more fun? It just depends on who
you're
obviously.
That side is more fun.
Is Nuss. The fun is Nuss. That's the fun
the unknown.
Side.
The fun is if Nuss does
he's the rebel.
Become that, and then Jaden fails, that's the fun for those people. Like that, you know, that's the only fun part.
Like, look, I hope
Jaden succeeds and wins.
If we get another Arkansas game, it's just going to be fucking hilarious.
I'm sorry, this comment just has
But it's going to happen. It's going to happen, Brett.
That's what I'm talking about. I want to be this. I don't know which one's better.
This comment is killing me right now.
Jaden got to improve on that noodle arm shit. He was on this past year.
It's just like the only comment in our fucking stream. It's just like, that's our content. That's his name is huge erection, and he's like spitting bars. He's just
9:30 on a Wednesday, no promotion, but our one fucking ride or die freak in there. We got like 4 people watching live, but huge erection just right there with us on Jaden Daniels hot takes. Like that's our guy.
Jaden's got to improve that fucking noodle arm shit. It's just like he's in this. Like Hugh G is in this conversation. Like
he was on. Like shit he was on is such a good way to put that, because if he just would have put like noodle arm shit last year, it would have been like, that's a good comment. But like he was on that shit.
I love how. Go ahead,
so we just start giving out Listener of the Year awards and have nominations. I think he would be a front runner.
He would definitely be up there. I think there's a large crew that has some competition with him.
Yeah, there's some people who DM like play-by-plays of the pod of like what they agree with and don't agree with.
We love it though, dude. Hugh G is in this conversation right now. You realize that? It's like he might not have a mic, but like he's here. He's here.
You know, Hugh is who I needed a few weeks ago, considering he would die for this podcast. I feel like he would have been great to be by my side.
That's a good segue. Malik Neighbors was rolling deep. Bacchus Nothing to do with this story, but it just kind of seems, I don't know, might be relative.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I say what you want about guns. I just say don't go to Mardi Gras. But like, it's hard for me to be like, no, don't protect yourself and like in Mardi Gras when shit's gonna go down.
Well, that's the shitty thing is like, so guns on a parade route is what's illegal. Like you can carry a gun anywhere in New Orleans if you have a license or it's open carried, whatever. But parade routes is apparently illegal. I get it because it's a mass quantities of people,
right?
So
and that'll stop him
for him to
gun-free zone.
Apparently, I read that they were
the sign
that there were undercover cops walking around with like these super metal or some sort of detectors of like if people were carrying some form of firearm, it was able to detect it, and then the plainclothes would radio. But I don't know how legal it is, and that's why they're using that as an excuse of why they threw it out and released it.
He got out, and at the end of the day, Scott Woodward has a lot of pull, and I think you start making some phone calls from Baton Rouge. Latoya they want to comply.
Do you think when he calls, he says this is Scotty? He's like, this is Scotty.
I think he goes Woody.
I don't think
Woody. Yeah, hey, it's Woody. What do we got here?
Yeah, but Malik's free.
Answered.
Yeah, Malik's free.
Just don't go to Mardi Gras.
He just
and I would give that same advice to people on this podcast. Just don't go.
I mean, it's a great time for skiing. It's a really good time to like see the mountains.
It's a good time to do anything else.
And it's a good time to like protect yourself and your children.
Here's the bright side. I do not think I will be back anytime soon.
And why is that? What happened?
2 years. So what happened was, if you followed the news immediately after Bacchus or during Bacchus, there was a pretty large shooting within 50 feet of where I was standing. So
in New Orleans?
In New Orleans. Believe it or not.
I did not see that.
After dark, it was actually nighttime when it happened during the Bacchus parade right outside of Lula's on St. Charles. So my sister-in-law has a house like 4 blocks away. So that's where we go watch the parade every time. The kids are out there. We go all day Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, my wife.
You go to the parades.
We go to the parades just because it's an easy walk from their house. So thankfully, my wife was not present. She was actually at the Bacchus ball, which I don't know what's worse, her being there or being present for the shooting. I guess the shooting is a lot worse. But yeah, it actually was pretty scary. Adrenaline pumping. I know I called Mike probably half hour later. I'm sure I sounded pretty crazy on the phone. But
you hit the deck.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it just starts ringing out.
Hold on,
okay.
You're not telling the story as well.
No one knows what happened here, Grant. You're acting as if like you're talking to me.
Well, no, I think we gotta hold on. Let me set the stage a hair here. So it's, I don't know, 9:30, 9:45, right?
It's right at 9:30.
I'm in bed. There's been no action in the group me for a couple days now. And Grant just comes in like 911 emergency, like I just got shot at. And I'm just like, excuse me? He's like, it was wild. And like I already was like, oh, that's crazy. And obviously he's adrenaline pumping. He needs somebody to talk to.
All that's crazy is kind of just like, I fuck with that.
Well, yeah. I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, do you want me to head over there? Like, one, obviously no. And like, two, like, no. So
obviously you're okay.
Shit. Wild. Yeah. Like, any holes? Like, are we good? And then Grant came back firing some more, adrenaline pumping. You know, he's trying to talk to somebody. And Mike's just MIA for the moment. And I'm just like, I think Mike's in the VR world. He'll catch up with you in like 2 hours. And Mike pops in like 30 minutes later. Like, is this real? But I had nothing else I could offer Grant. But yeah, I think Grant hit the deck and had to army crawl out of there.
So I knew that there was
at.
nothing y'all could do, but like y'all were the first people I could think of to be like, dude, because so here's the thing. It was so significant in my mind that I was like, this is going to be like front page of the national news. Like people are dead. People are literally going to be dead everywhere.
Because you heard the shots.
That's only if you're
because I heard that many shots and I was around that many.
So this
people.
is before you knew like that it was bad, but it wasn't like
no. I still
massacre.
knew it was bad. I knew it was bad, but I didn't have a chance to go see. I had no idea how many people were shot until after I talked to y'all, and then it started to come out on the news.
This guy, man, we can't put his comment. If you're gonna get shot in New Orleans, do it with Supreme Rice. Do it with Supreme Rice. Sorry. If you're gonna get shot in New Orleans, do it with Supreme Rice.
If you're gonna get shot in New Orleans, do it with Supreme Rice.
We gotta hide that comment. We need to have a podcast. We need to block
We should do every pod at 9:30 at night. This is fun.
This when the freaks come out. So anyway,
this is them. This guy's killing.
It was killing it. So yeah, someone did die in the shooting, and 4 others were shot. They did arrest the person, but for my point, I was standing like literally up in the front row of the floats. It was in between a band and a float. And then you just literally hear at least 6 to 8 continuous like ta 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 ta.
That's crazy.
Just going off. And so it's coming from, we're on the sidewalk side. It's coming from behind the neutral ground. Like I knew where it was. It sounded like I knew where it was coming from. So we hit the deck, and then everyone that's standing on the neutral ground starts running at us. And I'm like, I have to find cover. Like I have to get behind something. And there was nothing there but fucking ladders and things that people, chairs and stuff. So I immediately just turned and was like, I got to get inside of Lula's restaurant. So I run in there.
Did you do like any tactical weaving? Like were you fucking
absolutely.
So there was 3
I've seen
steps.
you tactical weave just to get a fucking lawnmower out of the garage.
You know how like in cop movies when they're like going car to car, like
they slide over the hood,
very like to the ground,
arms together.
Yeah, I use some tactical moves there. When I jumped, there was 3 steps to climb up to get into Lula's, and I literally just jumped right over them.
Oh shit!
I did
run it too. Here's the thing: I run in.
Jump steps.
I jumped 3 steps to get to the front door.
All at once, just pop.
Yeah,
pop.
1 step, boom. And so then I get in there and I look around and I'm like, shit, Lula's is literally, it's all glass. The whole building, like all the windows on the outside are glass. And I'm like,
I'm in a glass house.
So it was either get behind the hostess table, or I turn to my left and there's the giant bar. So I literally run and slide on my knees around the corner of the bar. Like I would love to go see that.
That's tactical. Like
that's what I said.
Like you like wrestle slide, like wow.
Yeah.
The wild thing is that you would have never gotten here if I didn't fucking just keep like leading you down this hole.
No, I know. There was no easy way to dive into this part. So then at that point, as I slide around the corner, there's more shots ringing out, and I'm like, what in the hell? So I'm like peeking around the side, and then I look behind me, and none of the 6 people and 2 children that I'm with are there. No one ran with me. And I was like, damn, I just left them out to dry. It's my family.
It was like the first time that you realized that was when you had to look to your left.
I peeked after I dove behind and I looked out to see if anyone was like shooting inside the restaurant, like just split second.
But at that time, were you just like, is anyone, do I know anyone here?
I kind of like looked behind me and no one is within my, like I could hear people screaming in the back of the restaurant, like by the bathrooms and all, but I'm like behind the bar and everything's kind of blurry, but I'm like, damn, none of the people I was just standing with are with me. So then I see one of them. I see Paul. Shout out Paul. He's running and he's like, and I just grab him like,
you charged out. You charged out?
No, I just grab him and throw him on the ground with me.
So he was in the restaurant.
No, he was running in the door too, but like 30 seconds after I did. He was just coming in behind me.
Right. So he came in and that's when you pulled him.
Yeah, and then I saw him and pulled him down with me. We were hiding behind the bar, and then we were like, shit, now we got to find everyone else.
Shit.
And then come to find out everyone was fine, but my sister-in-law was holding her 1.5-year-old at like when it happened, and she ended up falling. Everyone was fine, but she skinned her knees up and stuff.
The baby?
And then, no, my sister-in-law. The baby was perfectly fine.
Oh,
so everyone was fine, and then finally,
so
then my friend, wait,
this the problem.
So then my friend Paul, shout out Paul, who I had. After a while, we were like, all right, let's call and start finding our friends. And he's like, I dropped my hat when I was running in here. I want to find my hat. I'm like, dude, people are like dead out there on the street. Where'd you drop it? He's like, on the street. I was like, God.
So y'all had to
Okay,
venture out to the
so
crime scene
that's
for a
when
hat?
we walked out. That's when we walked out to the parade, or like onto St. Charles again. And he's like, found it. And that's when I looked and saw people like being tended to in the street that were shot.
How close? How close was that?
How close was I? So from where we were watching the parade to where I saw one of the people was 5 feet. They were in the middle of St.
that
Charles.
moment when you were picking
That
up the
moment,
hat.
10, 15 yards, 10 yards
10 yards.
from that person. I mean, they were right there
Mm-hmm.
because they were surrounded by medical. So then at that point, we were like, okay, let's walk back home. And then like there was cops like siren. I've never heard more sirens in my life. And that's when I was like texting y'all like, dude, this is crazy. Like people are going to be dead.
Shut down. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's done.
I don't
But
think you said that.
been-
Don't give yourself credit here. I don't think you said people are dead everywhere.
No. I didn't say that. But I was thinking that. I was like, there could be some people down. Like, I don't know.
Well,
There was a lot of shots.
Yeah. Well, glad you're okay. LSU beats Texas yesterday.
No,
I mean, I don't know how we would just segue.
You know who got shot though was LSU against Iowa. From last weekend.
Yeah. Okay,
Actually, no.
okay.
Let's go back to the Round Rock.
Wait, we
Classic. If we're gonna go to baseball a little bit,
all seriousness, glad you're okay. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it was
sucks
wild.
for everybody involved.
I think I'm over it now, but I don't think we're going. And my in-laws will probably be moving out of the city fairly soon now.
For the
to the other
record,
side of the lake.
For the record, Mike said he was going to stop the fries 1,000 fries ago.
I'm muting,
dude. How many fries did they give you?
I'm muting, dude.
No, it's more.
You know how hard it is to eat one at a time. You know, because like you're trying to be a little courteous for the show, so like I'm doing one at a time instead of like pinching two or three. You know, so like a good sauce dunker.
Instead of munching in the mic for 10 minutes, we're gonna just nibble for the entire hour.
Mute, unmute.
Pretty much. I'm sure I'm not catching a mute every now and then.
No, I don't care. I love it.
Dude, if I was smacking, I should have been told to hush.
I mean, I haven't
noticed.
If it's if it's a problem, we can talk about it offline.
I haven't noticed it, but I know if it would have been
sponsors anyway.
I know if it would have been me.
Oh, Drew, calling me out. Don't post it.
Oh,
move right along.
Oh my God, it's gonna get posted. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so we'll be quick about this baseball segment for Brett's.
No, dude, go.
Dugas.
No, so
Dugas
wait, we didn't.
Ophthalmologist.
Well,
MVP.
first off, I don't think we've recorded since opening weekend. So all I'm going to say about that is the pitchers showed out. We did what we needed to do. Took care of business of Western Michigan. I was fine with the performance in week one. Then we played Southern last Tuesday. We end up 10-run ruling them 18-4, and that's when Trey Morgan hits for the cycle. Very excited.
Was that when Thatcher Hurd was having some trouble?
I that was his first appearance. He didn't throw at all against Western Michigan. So he struggled. Yeah, he did struggle, which he redeemed himself last night. But
yeah, he did. That was good to see.
But offensively, and then we had other guys. Who was the guy that stepped up against Southern?
Jobert.
Well, yeah. I mean, there was a lot. I'm talking pitching wise. That's when Christian Little came out of the pen after Hurd and went 3 innings, giving up 1 hit, 6 strikeouts. And we're talking about him a little bit more in a second. Moffitt has not pitched as much as I would have thought to see him, which is fine. That means other guys are getting a lot of valuable innings and getting deep into the games.
I agree.
No, I agree.
Why can't we hit the ball? That's the question. Mike was talking about putting magazines up in every restaurant.
Did you see Dugas hit a 3-run bomb against Texas's ace?
First 3 hours before that.
Just fucking.
They had a guy
walking him into the cave, dude.
They had a guy throwing 99 with a 91.
Everyone in Omaha throws 99. Everyone.
No, look, the 60. We struck out 16 times yesterday. If anyone at home is wondering, we struck out 16 times, which is very alarming.
All I see is 3-0.
There's no.
There's no. excuses for striking out that many times, especially when we had opportunities to score.
What happened
But
to Paxton?
Ball.
What happened to Paxton?
Well, I think it has to do with Jobert tearing it up and Jones tearing it up.
Jared Jones.
So,
what a mammoth, huh?
Jared Jones, the Bear, they call him. Bear Jones.
I like that. Bear Jones.
Yeah, he's 6'4", 230, big kid.
Why was he not the full podcast preseason? Like, because this dude looks like a true freshman that's that big, just roping it. Like, he might be a big LSU like phenom, right? Does he have the making of that?
He was yes. I think he's like the next guy that we've got as a freshman. Him and
he's going to have to play
Kling.
first.
I think Kling's still going to be good. He's going to have to play first or DH. He's a catcher though. He's actually a catcher by trade.
But Brady is
Brady's a
it,
catcher.
right?
Yeah, I mean he's not hitting that well, but who is, So
hopefully Tommy White.
So Tommy White did get injured in the opening weekend. First pitch he saw against Western Michigan was an RBI single. Then he dislocates his shoulder, and that's kind of so Trey Morgan's actually had to start playing in the outfield,
and then he hurt his wrist.
He bummed his wrist this weekend. But that's kind of where there's guys like Paxton Kling that are the odd man out is so because of White leaving third base, we've got to move either Nippolt or Dugas. One of those two guys is at second and third.
Good infield fly out by Nippolt.
Well, by definition in baseball, the infield fly is when there's runners on first and second.
Whatever. He popped it up.
He called it. Yeah, it was a great catch.
The fucking foul. It was a foul, right?
It was a foul ball that he dove and caught. It was a magnificent catch.
Yeah, infield fly ball.
It's pretty much the exact same thing as the infield fly rule.
Sure, yeah.
I'm just saying that play. I'm not trying. That play was obviously I don't know like the definitions.
That play was actually that was like one of the best defensive plays we've seen all year. Probably
that was a good play. And it's
actually let's talk a little bit about defense. I'm pretty sure we have 2 errors.
That's good. I think that's
error ridden last year.
I think we have two errors this season. One of them at the end of a win on Sunday when we put in a freshman at second and he just booted it, so it wasn't one of our starters. The other one was last night. Trey Morgan, the little bunt down the first base line, and he just threw it. So both of those plays aren't like us struggling. Last year at this time, we had 13. We had like 12, 13 errors at this point in the season last year. So
we were so confident in that first 13. You should have stuck with it.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact.
He looked it up, and then he's like, maybe 12.
I did. I had a note. It was somewhere.
Don't quote me.
We definitely had double digit
quarter second.
We had double digit errors at this point in the season last year. So I commend Jay Johnson for listening to everyone's gripes and focusing a lot on defense this offseason. It looks like, and all the haters, I mean, knock on wood, but Jordan Thompson has been playing lights out at shortstop, and they had lots of haters out there that were just like, we need to move on from him. He's, whatever. And it's like, okay, well, he's only batting 400 through 8 games, and he has 0 errors defensively. So
Jobert?
I will take that. No, Jordan Thompson, our shortstop.
Yeah, he was never going to be out of the lineup.
No, in the beginning of the season, people were like, "Oh, I'm tired of this kid because he had so many errors last year. He's a head case and all this stuff. He's West Coast guy. He's not a
can't
fit.
Be from the West
He's got
Coast.
all these tattoos, his little mustache. People were saying that
he's got a little mustache. Last person with a little mustache did some bad things. We don't talk about
it. People from California with little mustaches, like not allowed down here.
No, dude. No, man. Tattoos and all, dude. It's just
that's what it sounds like.
We don't like your little mustaches.
He's kind of West Coasty. We wanted to bench him.
But right now he's so Dylan Cruz is leading and hitting. Obviously, he's batting .520, which is just, that's ridiculous. Dugas is batting .445, and Thompson's at .400. So
Dugas taking second base is good to validate.
Huge.
That's it. He's second base.
I think there's no question about it. And that's the other reason why Morgan's playing more in the outfield, because it's like, okay, Dugas can handle the infield. Let's put Morgan out there. He's probably a better outfielder than Dugas was the last couple of years. And that way Jones can play first base or DH, depending on where Joe Bear, Kling, whoever else is in the lineup.
I like that. At first, I don't really like Morgan in the outfield. It just seems like he's like a first base dude. He has his whole little like persona. Yeah. But he is like an athlete. Like he's a good ball player. Like he could
be slot receiver in spring ball in 6 days.
He could.
6
he could have been.
There's no way.
No, it's 8 days.
8 days. Yeah, but when you say stuff with confidence, people believe it, Grant. So I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, that's
true. I looked that up.
They're not going to challenge you.
No, they wouldn't challenge me. Come in my DMs 12. And challenge me. Whatever the fuck you want to challenge me.
Easy.
They're open.
Easy. Grant, wrap it up.
So, so we finished on Sunday, Sam Houston, by beating Sam Houston by at least 11 runs. We won the Round Rock Classic. So even though we lost to Iowa lost to one of those other teams. So we end up winning, quote unquote, winning the championship.
So kind of a Mickey Mouse championship that we can hang a banner for, but okay.
So then last night we go and play Texas at Texas. So our team had been in Texas for 7 straight days. They got there last Wednesday. They came home today. So that's a long road trip for them. Anyway, so we struggled. Obviously, we struggled offensively. We had one opportunity. I think it was in the 2nd or 3rd inning. We got hosed at the plate. It was a great play by the center fielder. So then we just go battling it out. Thatcher Hurd goes 4 2/3, gave up 3 hits, no runs, 4
and that's great. That shows his improvement. Great. And that's a guy that we really needed to lock away for Saturday.
We need him midweek at least because we're going to need him in the postseason. You know, you're always going to need that 4th or 5th starter. Because I think that it's either Shores or Hurd's going to be the Sunday guy.
I haven't seen him pitch yet
because we're limiting him to like a certain pitch count on Sundays, and then we're just bringing in multiple guys, which I kind of liked it. It's worked so far. I'm not opposed because our Friday and Saturdays guys have been pretty good, even though Riley Cooper struggled a little bit on Saturday. Now, the other 2 guys that have really shown out, or the one that showed out yesterday pitching wise, was Nate Ackenhausen.
Sounds like a good beer.
3 1/3.
Houston.
3. Yeah, it's German, kind of German.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any mustache.
I would say.
He doesn't have a mustache, I don't believe. So he's good. But he went 3 1/3, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit. That's really good. And 39 pitches. How many strikes do you think he threw out of his 39 pitches?
37.
50.
Close. That's impossible.
41.
He threw 32 strikes, which is ridiculous. I mean, that's absurd. He threw 7 balls.
You made me think it was going to be better.
All right, picture it like this. He faced 12 batters. He faced 12 batters, and he threw 7 balls.
When did this become like Grant's show? This is
I'm just going over baseball.
No, I love it. It's just like somehow I'm just like enjoying the podcast from afar. I'm just like, yeah.
This sounds good.
Turntables.
Yeah.
So then the last look, this is the last guy, and it's wrapped up. The last guy, 2 guys, but one guy, Christian Little. That's the transfer from Vandy. He comes in as the closer last night. I turned the TV off because I was like, it's over. We hit the 3-run bomb in the top of the 9th, and I was like, okay, Little is coming in. No brainer. It's over. And what does he do? A weak ground ball, a pop up, like just gets out the inning, 10 pitches, gets the save. Tigers win 3-0. I mean, that dude looks like, I think somebody said it on the radio earlier today. I mean, he looks like a defensive end coming out there to close the game. He looks like Chad Jones. You know, he doesn't look. No one's going to ever look like Chad Jones coming out there. But Christian Little has tight pants on, tight fitting jersey, huge thighs, just thick look, meaty guy, just confident.
Give me more.
I loved it.
What kind of shoes?
So I'm hoping.
You wear?
Ooh, I think it's Jordans.
White spiking?
Got to be Jordans.
No, I don't know. I really don't know. I'll have to find a picture. But if Christian Little and Nate Ackenhausen can do that, weekends, middle week, whatever, we're gonna win a lot of games. The only question mark I have now, just from what we saw, we lost to Iowa. We gave up 12 runs to Iowa on Saturday.
What was that about?
Let me see what I didn't get to watch that full game. And wait, we never even talked about how ridiculous paying for that D1 baseball Round Rock thing ended up being on.
Dude,
Friday.
I heard it was terrible. It was awful trying to find an actual stream to the links.
Thankfully, some guys were on YouTube trying, but
and what is this, 2009?
Let's see. Riley Cooper went 3 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. So he threw a lot of strikes, but it just didn't work out. And then the guys behind him still gave up a bunch of runs too. So
how we looking coming up this weekend?
So we have Butler on Friday, Central Connecticut on Saturday, Central Connecticut State. Okay, you got to get that right.
We better get that right.
It's better. Like a 4-game series. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So Butler on Friday, Central Connecticut State Saturday and Sunday, Butler again on Monday.
Is this all prepping up for the following weekend, which is SEC play?
No, the next weekend Sanford. Wow. I'll be there on Saturday. We'll be Pot of Gold sponsoring a crawfish boil for everyone on Saturday. Meet us out there at the tailgate.
Sure.
Flying in.
I will not be there, just so everyone.
What is that? What is that? The Sanford game?
Sam with an M. Sanford.
Yeah.
Sanford.
Why not Tennessee?
Connecticut?
Because it's my birthday.
3/11.
So, right. So I'm going to Baton Rouge. That's what I wanted to do for my birthday.
Okay.
And then the next week is A&M at A&M. So that opens up SEC play after Sanford.
Mike will be there.
Yeah. You're going to that one, Mike?
Maybe.
Mike's doing crawfish boil, Pot of Gold crawfish boil there.
Yeah. Kyle Field.
Right on the 50.
They said we could get out here.
Damn.
What else? What else do we got? Will Wade's going to Ole Miss. That's the intel.
That's what we hear so far. Is that's gonna be, and that might be a stank eye for Woodward, huh? Do you think that chatter's gonna be tossed around?
I don't know. It's like I feel like it was. I don't mind what we did. It's like at some point we kind of had to like do something, and it's like whatever. I think McMahon's gonna end up being fine, or we'll fire him and do someone else. Like Woodward's hit on enough hires in the last couple years that like I think we can live with firing a guy when maybe we shouldn't have or whatever.
Who do you think we are permanent opponents with? Let's riff on this for about 5 minutes.
I don't know. Like, what would it be? 2 permanent opponents?
I think 3.
3. Arkansas would be one because they think the boot people care about. Ole Miss would probably be another one.
I think Ole Miss is a standard. I think Ole Miss is like set in stone with LSU.
You think it's more that Ole Miss is more of a permanent?
I think Ole Miss will never not play LSU, or LSU will never not play Ole Miss. I think they're going to try to keep that because I think they're going to try to keep like a balance to it, right? They're going to have the better teams.
So is it like Texas is going to have Oklahoma and A&M? Like, is that who? Because I'm wondering if they're going to put us with A&M.
I think they're going to put us with A&M, Ole Miss.
I think we get Arkansas
too, and then we get Arkansas. We might get
because Arkansas doesn't have another in-state, so I feel like they're going to put us two together.
We might get Oklahoma. Because they're not going to have Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's going to have Missouri and Texas or A&M.
They're not going to do it geographically.
Or Arkansas.
I don't know. When are we going to do? We know anything about when they're going to announce this? Like, do we know any information?
No. What do we get in 3?
It's got to be. It's next season, right?
How many permanents? You said?
Like not this coming season.
Right. The next season.
Like. Yeah, like there's one more season of Texas and Oklahoma in the Big 12, 2023, and then a year from now will be the spring that they're in the SEC.
Be crazy if we got both the Texas teams. If it was Ole Miss, Texas, and Texas A&M.
Once again, we would just, I mean, whatever, fuck it. I'm down to play Texas every year, but I don't know. Feel like we got a little screwed there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suck
I
to
don't
be
care.
Auburn.
I think it's cool. Like whatever,
Auburn's
whoever
gonna
your
have a tough
permanents.
draw.
Auburn's got Bama and Georgia every year.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it always could be worse. I don't know. Part of me would be sad to see the Florida rivalry
Correct. I was
go
gonna
away.
say Florida's one of those. I'm like, damn, I love playing them.
But how
also, I
fun's it
feel
going to
like
be to wait and play them at some point too?
I feel like also, and obviously there's more teams, but with only two permanent games or whatever, 3 permanent games, it's like you have opportunities to play a lot of different teams. So it's like, yeah, we may not play Florida for a year or two, but it's
But
not
you'll
like
play
it's going to be
everybody
now.
within 2 years.
Right. It's not like now
Yeah,
where
we'll be
it's like,
playing
well, we
Georgia,
won't see
like-
Tennessee again.
Yeah, it'll be every other year. You're gonna have those guys cycle through. So I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna.
It would be weird not playing Bama every year.
It would be, but it'd be a
It'd be the
nice
year.
relief, man.
Well,
It'd
but
be
it's gonna be a post Saban, and we're gonna be like, fuck,
Yeah.
why couldn't we have gotten this in the
It
20
totally will. It'll be like the first fucking stank bomb in like 20 years.
Yeah,
And it's
gonna
not
be
in
the
our
5
pod.
and 6. The 5 and 6 Bama team is gonna be the one time we don't get to play them.
Yeah, like Auburn's gonna be just fucking Donkey Kong, and we're like, oh, great. I guess Auburn figured it out.
Yeah, Lane's on top of the world. Lane is the new Saban. Everyone's coming to Ole Miss.
Just keep Lane away from A&M. Let Jimbo just rot that shit away.
I know it's so weird. Jimbo's still the man out there.
Good.
And
Keep
we
that
fucking
going.
lost to them. What a nightmare.
That was a nightmare
Oh.
loss. That was such a like if you're gonna
That was
slip up against a
disgusting.
team and be like, fuck, we didn't play well. Like, not them. Don't
Not
do it
them.
with them. I can
Yeah.
take Mississippi State daggers. You know, I can
If we
take a
would've lost that
Kentucky
game,
dagger.
Arkansas.
If we would have lost, it'd have been like, oh, we just beat Bama. It's fucking cold. Jaden Daniels can't throw in the
Yeah.
cold. California kid, like so easy. But
You don't
losing
do it
that
against
A&M
A&M, dude.
was a kick in the nuts.
Yeah, that's when it's like this is they can say whatever they want. They can,
Dude,
you know.
We lost to fucking Florida State and Texas A&M and
It's tough.
Tennessee.
Tough
but,
pill to
obviously
swallow.
Tennessee.
Tennessee was playing great. That was the most high
We were
octane.
supposed to lose that game.
Right.
We
but
weren't
it's just
at
like-
that level yet, but we competed for a little bit and it was exciting. It was like, oh, okay, we're not quite there yet. Everybody else, it's like, damn, dude, if we didn't have a fucking fumbled snap or if we didn't have
Yeah.
some bullshit that was in our own control, like we should have beaten those teams. Georgia, no.
No,
You know,
that was Jane Daniels was hurt and he's a Heisman hopeful. So
that is true. It's fair.
And Nuss did like break records and all. So
To Malik Neighbors, to a lot of returning guys that all have highlights from last season that you can watch over and over and be like, okay, if these cats continue to improve, and then you add what's his name, Aaron Anderson from Bama coming in, like that dude's going to be playing quick. Denver Harris and all those dudes locking down the corners. I mean,
it's very, very easy to tell yourself that this team is going to be back in the SEC championship
be a good
game.
team.
And once again, like, fuck, when was the last time we beat Bama 2 years in a row? Who knows? Whatever.
When's the last time you couldn't tell me who Bama's quarterback is?
Yeah, exactly. But like, I'm just saying, like, obviously, it's not going to be like
Who's
the
their
most stunning
quarterback?
thing if Bama shows up to Atlanta for the SEC championship game, whatever. But it's like, I think LSU is going to be the favorite in most games they play.
I do too. And I think a lot of that has to do with Jaden Daniels' development. I think if that dude starts moving the ball down the field, like we're a lethal offense that's going to get better and better. If we find a running game, like some consistency from Noah Cain or Emory somehow like reads the field better and like doesn't fumble, like what if he turns a corner?
Have to think the offensive line is going to make huge improvements.
Absolutely. You got Zion's Hurd in there. If you need, somebody to come in and scoot down, it's a 5-star, like top lineman in the nation coming in and available for depth.
But like the flashes of Jaden Daniels being the guy is a national championship caliber like team, but we just need that more consistently.
Dude, and you got a Perk on the other side, Mason Smith back, like a healthy Mason Smith and a Harold Perkins that just like keeps it under control and just like, dude, you've got everything going for you. You're an animated character, like I don't want shit to get to his head. Like keep fucking doing you and you're going to be like the next greatest of all time. Like
Greg Brooks
that's what I'm hoping
Denver Harris
can do.
It's easy to talk yourself into it. We got the best special teams coach in the country.
I think the Harold Perkins thing for me is like we've been kind of burned by our top dogs lately. You know, it's like a lot of those 5-star dudes that you felt really like you love, like Eli Ricks and shit like that. And then they just kind of turn out of nowhere. It's like you don't want that to happen with Harold Perkins.
It's like the instant success, and then it's like he's gonna suck next year, and you're like, yeah, I'm with you. I'm like not getting too attached to this. Like Harold Perkins is gonna win the Heisman
because like the dude could if he does it the right way and like really just hones in and is like, I'm that fucking dude at LSU. Stay distractions away. Like he will be that guy, but
I'm not allowing myself to be heartbroken. Yes, it's not going to be a Marcel Brooks situation, and I get like obviously Perkins did 11 billion times more than him in his first year, whatever. But it's like I'm with you. I'm like holding my love back. Like I won't be hurt again. I'm not going to let you transfer or suck or like get kicked off the team and break my heart. Absolutely not.
Right. Like I'm very guarded right now. I'm just like, dude, it could be bought by Bama.
Yeah.
You know, like all that type of shit. Like you just
and that's
never
okay.
know.
He helped change the program.
Right. It's like, no, not us. No, and that's the fear there. But it's like, no, he's gonna keep his head down, he's gonna do his thing, and he's gonna ball out and be fucking Devin White for us. And then you got guys like Mason Smith who are, you know, unfortunate. First game of the season where he was the top dog going into that year on everybody's draft boards, potential guy for the next season. Now he's just unheard of. He's going to come out with a chip on his shoulder. Like, no one's been discussing this 6'6" mammoth that's playing up the middle. That's athletic as a freak. So I'm excited to see that. And then Wingo, man. Wingo is a solid defensive tackle that's been rotating in there. That's become a leader and has become a starter. So we've got depth, but we've got dudes, man. Just got to make it happen.
I agree. Is that it? Are we done? What are we doing? Any
we're doing
full swing?
So
the show. Outer Banks.
I haven't started Outer Banks yet. Grant's a little behind too, so no spoilers.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. It's the same.
I know, but it's so
fucking screaming and fighting and arguing over and over and over. There's like no happy like 3 minutes unless it's just some like sob story and like exaggerated fucking crying. It's so bad.
I'll go watch the first episode now then.
It's like Power Rangers, dude. It's like they have to film themselves with like B-roll of them running down the street. It's like, I don't know. It's not, but it hooks you in. It's just like, ooh, at the very last second, it's just like, whoa, what do you say? Where?
I mean,
like the treasures, where?
Treasure? Boobies? Treasure?
You get sucked into the treasure. And
treasure. It's the treasure. It's the treasure that keeps us coming.
All right. Well, I got to eat these fries.
Yeah, I need second dinner. All right, boys. Mike, send us out.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Over and out.